Hello, my name is Cynthia Sally Haggard and I write historical fiction and latterly historical fantasy, which is why you're seeing me here on TikTok for the first time. I am also a recovering violinist, and the reason why I'm telling you this is because I think many of you saw a photo of me at the age of 4 playing the violin in the back garden of the house I grew up in Surbiton, Surrey. My mother was a music teacher and she taught violin and viola to the various schools in our community. And so she wanted to know whether it was possible to start a very young child on the violin. So she started me off at the age of 3. Now why me? Because I was the elder daughter. The black and white photo that you saw in one of my previous TikTok videos was taken in 1964, so that meant that I was 3 going on 4. It being the 1960s and it being my mother, who always had to be, well, let's just put it this way, she had very high standards. So if you look at that image and if you know anything about violin playing, you will see that I am not using a Suzuki bowhold. Oh no, even at the age of 3 turning 4, I had to play the violin with an adult bowhold. I spent my child and teenage years practicing the violin. I must have logged over 10,000 hours. And I am very grateful for the gift that my mother gave me, because it meant that at a time when I was forming habits, I was going up to my room, shutting the door and practicing the violin for 3 hours. This meant that I had to be extremely self-directed and that I had to have discipline, because in order to do the violin at all, you actually have to do it every day. It is, being a musician is sort of like being an athlete. You have to keep your muscles warm, you have to keep your muscles toned up, and of course you have to have those pads on your fingers. I worked very hard on the violin, and the irony is that I actually wasn't very good at it. I was actually much better at playing the piano, but I spent hardly any time practicing the piano. So when I got married and I came to the United States and I was setting my life in a new direction, one of the things I did by the time I hit my late 20s was to abandon any thought of becoming a professional violinist and to do something completely different. And so for 15 years I became a cognitive scientist, which means that I was studying the mind. Issues like memory, language, expectations, and all those other wonderful things that the mind gives us. Another reason for telling you that I'm a recovering violinist is that my second novel, which is actually now a 4-book series called the Grace Miller series, is actually somewhat autobiographical. It concerns a violinist who of course had a fabulous talent, which, as I said, I really didn't. So anyway, stay tuned for my next videos when I am going to be talking more about my books, including my upcoming book, Maiden Tomb, which is going to drop next February. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.